listening to the Fayetteville 411 podcast, produced by the City of Fayetteville, where you'll get information about city government and the programs and services we provide. You'll get topics of interest and an inside look into the various departments that help keep our city moving. I'm Sherry Kropp.
And I'm John Salling. Thanks for joining us for the Fayetteville 411. Today we're excited to be talking about the upcoming Juneteenth Jubilee, hosted by the City of Fayetteville and Cool Spring Downtown District. Ashanti Bennett, interim president and CEO from Cool Spring, is here with us to give us the details on this year's event. Ashanti, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys today on this beautiful spring day?
Doing wonderfully.
It's beautiful, busy time of year for you, I'm sure, right?
Busy time of year, exciting time of year, but definitely a busy one.
And so we've got Juneteenth coming up. Can you start to give us kind of the introduction of what we're looking at here?
Absolutely. We've got the 4th annual Juneteenth Jubilee coming on June the 14th. That's going to be held in Festival Park here in downtown Fayetteville from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are incredibly excited about this event, even though it feels like this year it snuck up a little sooner than it has in the past. It's hard to believe it's going to be June next week, but it is, and we are ready for it. This year we have themed the Juneteenth Jubilee as sovereign. We're really leaning into this idea of agency, liberation, unity, community together, and particularly this year uplifting the sort of contributions of Black women in the culture, in the arts, and in our community. So, looking forward to that one for no particular reason at all.
Now, how do you come up with the themes? Because I know every year you have a different theme for the Jubilee.
Well, Sherry, at some point I'm sitting in my backyard and I'm reading a book or an article or watching some new artist, and the muses just kind of pop it into my head.
Epiphany.
And and there's usually some random text I send to a friend at 2 a.m, like, wouldn't it be great if? And yeah, that's the magic. It's just
awesome.
Grocery store, in the car, just hear something and get inspired.
Yeah.
All right. And when is it going to be taking place here specifically?
June 14th, Saturday, June 14th, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. here in Festival Park in downtown Fayetteville.
And kind of those experiences that are going with this year's theme.
Very excited about our stage this year, but we will, before the stage kind of gets going and hot, we will, of course, have our vendors that are out. We always try to engage with our small businesses, our emerging artists, crafts creators, and allow them an opportunity to showcase their goods and their services. So we will have those out. Of course, we will have food, because we can't have a celebration without food. So we'll have our favorite food truck vendors that will be out there as well. But the action will be taking place on the stage this year. Very excited for our headlining talent that we have. Our opening headliner is Reese Palmer, who, if you do not know Reese Palmer, you need to get online and you need to see. She has just this incredible, captivating voice, and you sort of see her, and then she opens her mouth, and you're like, I was not expecting all of that.
I agree, because I had not heard of her, and then when you sent me the information that she was going to be the headliner, I'm going to check her out. So I did watch some of the videos and listen to her voice, and wow.
She's
impressive.
very,
very good.
And she is a sort of country soul artist, and, that is something that is important to us, to showcase as many different genres from the culture as possible. And, country and Black artists in country is really sort of having its moment right now.
Yeah.
And, letting people know that this is music that, Black Americans have been contributing to from the beginning. So it's a really great opportunity to be able to showcase that for our community as well. And then our final headliner for the evening is going to be a group called Tank and the Bangas, which I hope you've also checked them out too, Sherry.
I did not get a chance to
that's
check
a good
them
one.
out.
You need to put that in your car when you're leaving work and you're driving home, because you definitely want that sort of upbeat, uplifting sound that they have. She's also does spoken word poetry in her art. They recently won a Grammy, so we are really excited to have them. I was making the joke the other day with Tank and the Bangas, though we were sort of in pre-negotiations to get them, and then they won their Grammy, and I really wish I'd signed that contract like the week before, but it's okay. It's
been a little less expensive,
just a little
right?
bit, but it's also fun to say we've got Grammy Award artists that are going to be right here in our downtown and for free to the public.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we take pride on, and it's being able to offer those things and make it as accessible to as many people as we possibly can. So it's going to be really, really exciting on the stage there.
Now, for the vendors and the food trucks, where is that going to be? Is that going to be on the promenade, or what
Everything
footprint
is
is
going
the
to be
festival?
inside of the park proper
Inside of
this
the
year.
park, okay.
We've done it both ways. We've utilized the promenade space. We've even used some of the Ray Avenue space in the past. It just fluctuates. But this year's needs, we really wanted to focus in and get folks into the staging area. And we'll have all sorts of fun things that are happening inside the park as well, including our children's area. We've got some bounce houses, some games going on. We have an incredible vendor that is bringing this virtual reality games trailer. When you look at the video, it just looks like, I just imagine like children hopped up on sugar, like just going nuts playing these games. And that is exactly what we want to do. But maybe after the adults get their turn, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm definitely getting on that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
So excited about that. But we've got some other great features on our stage. This year, we've formalized a partnership with Miss Juneteenth Fayetteville. So they'll be crowning the queens at the festival, which is always very exciting and, further lends into the theme of what we're doing to uplift Black women in our community. We are going to have some line dancing. I can't wait. So if y'all haven't looked at your YouTube videos and, learned your dances with the fans, we will have fans available on site for those that may have left it at home, because you can't properly line dance without that clack, clack, clack sound that you need. So looking very much forward to that. And then some other community performers that'll be joining us. We always like to make sure that we highlight as many performing artists that are in our community as we possibly can on the stage. So from 3 o'clock and right till 9, we are going. There will be no lulls. And if you come, you can stay the entire time and have an amazing time with you and your entire family.
And when people come out beside the music and the food and the great entertainment, there's always like cultural experiences that they can participate in as well, right? And then there's some educational components of it.
Absolutely, because this is it's the longest running African American holiday in the country, and to me, it's one of the most American holidays because Juneteenth itself, celebrates the end of slavery in this country, and so that's something that everybody should be able to get behind on that. And we want to make sure that people are aware that they're not just at a concert, that they are at something that has a particular meaning to it. So we always have roaming historians throughout the footprint. They'll have T-shirts on that say, "Ask me about Juneteenth." We bring in some vendors that also share additional history, not just of Juneteenth, but some Black history in Fayetteville and Cumberland County as well. And then we always accompany that with a Black history tour of Fayetteville that you can take on our trolley. This year, it may or may not be on the trolley itself. They've been at the trolley doctor for a little while, so we don't know if she's going to be road ready in time for that. But there will be a bus of some sort that folks can get on, and again, that's also a free experience that'll be happening during the event. That's about a 45 minute tour around downtown Fayetteville and the surrounding areas with one of our great partners and historian and archivist Nicole Young from Fayetteville State University. She curates that tour for us, and this year she's actually going to be the one leading it. So if you know Nicole, this is a great time to pick her brain. That there is not one thing that this woman does not know about our local history. She's
very passionate about it.
She's passionate, and she has so much knowledge, and is super sweet and kind and answers those questions and just loves it. So I would encourage folks, if you don't know, if you're new to the area, or even if you're not, I find that the people that love it the most are natives. They've think about things they've driven past 1,000 times and they didn't know that it had that historical significance. So that's always fun for me too. But that will be available, the Legacy Loop, between 2 and 4 on Juneteenth, on the June 14th day of the event.
Awesome. And it's really good to keep that in mind as we celebrate the events today, is remembering why we are.
Why we're doing it, exactly. I mean, we want people to have fun, but my personal philosophy for a long time when you're talking about programming is if you can, it's kind of like vegetables with kids, like you can sneak a little learning in there also, and give people things that are thought-provoking and things that they can talk about later, research more. I think that the more that we understand our history, the more we can appreciate where we are right now, and the better that it lends to us figuring out what our future needs to look like. So we will always incorporate those things as much as we possibly can into our events downtown.
And we mentioned a couple of the events for kids that are also part of this event. Did we have more going on that side?
I think that it's going to be a gracious plenty. There'll be an entire area that the children will, just take over. We would love, though, if you are interested in that area, and other areas of the event, we can always use volunteers to help us man those spaces. An event like this, doesn't sort of happen by itself. And I think we are famously known at this point for having a small but mighty staff. And so when we do events on this scale for our community, we really do rely on folks, being very generous with their time. If it's an hour, if it's 3 hours, we get those incredible rock stars that will show up occasionally in the morning and say, I'm here until you tell me I need to go.
Wow.
Love those people.
Yeah.
They get fed. They get some extra perks when they come and help that way. But anything to just help us keep things flowing, keep things smooth, keep things safe, answer questions for people, do some wayfinding, guide them to where they need to go. But we, try to do our very best to make sure that where the restrooms are, and how to get to the food, and how to get all of those things going. And if you get a little turned about, we've got folks that are there to help you. So anybody that wants to help with that, I would definitely direct them to our website, visit downtownfayetteville.com, look for the Juneteenth Jubilee page. All the information about the event is there, but that also includes our volunteer link.
And in addition to Juneteenth, there's another big celebration that Cool Spring Downtown District handles, and that is the New Year's Eve event. Mm-hmm. But all throughout the year, you have events going on. Let's talk about some of the Fourth Friday events and some of the other things that you do.
Oh, yes. So we ultimately end up hosting somewhere around 50 or 60 events throughout the year. Which is an insane number, but we absolutely love it.
And for such a small staff too, I have to give you kudos for that.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We like to have fun when we're doing it. So actually just yesterday, we have this very large window in front of our office. Sherry, you've walked past probably and seen some strange behavior going on in there, but we love it, and we have an incredible staff right now. And so when we have these events and we have these things, there's constantly ideas of how to make it better, how to tweak it, how to design it so that as many people as possible are enjoying themselves. And that, shows itself very nicely in the Fourth Fridays, as you mentioned. But what's really exciting that we are just sort of getting prepared to announce, and I guess you're going to hear it here first, actually, is we are bringing back a limited series, but we are bringing back a summer concert series. Yes, I see Sherry is very excited.
Awesome.
Right. So a couple years back, we used to do the Downtown Summer Nights, and, COVID and all sorts of things kind of stopped that from getting back on track. And so we are bringing that back and commingling it with our Fourth Fridays for the summer months this year. But hopefully next year, when we get our staff back up to levels and, some other things settle down, we'll be able to expand it and offer that a little more frequently through the summers. But But
I'm so glad you're bringing that back.
Honestly.
Music brings people together, doesn't it?
music brings people together, and it's a fun series, and it gives us again even more opportunities to showcase some amazing talent from our community and from the region. So we have actually just signed a contract this week with an incredible artist named Heather May. Add that one to your playlist as well, Sherry. She is another one that you sort of see her voice and you think, I think the first time I saw her was like, oh, she looks like somebody's really nice teacher. And then she opened her mouth and I was like, well then, ma'am, okay. All right then, got it. So very, very excited to have her for the June 4th Friday. We're working on getting our contracts in place for July, August, and September. And then, of course, it'll be October, and it'll be the one and only infamous zombie walk, where last year we had 22, almost 23,000 zombies and ghosts, ghouls, all of those things wandering around our streets downtown. And so that one is always a fun one, especially with the costumes, because there are some people that put some real effort in their costumes. We have seen some amazing things down there.
So Fourth Fridays, the zombie walk, the upcoming summer concert series, and you guys do such a great job.
Thank you so much.
Really, though.
I really appreciate that.
So let's recap date, time, location, and where people can go to get more information.
Absolutely. So 2025 Juneteenth Jubilee Sovereign is going to be held on Saturday, June 14th in Festival Park on Fayetteville Avenue in downtown Fayetteville. For more information, folks can go to our website, visit downtownfayetteville.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram with either Downtown Fayetteville or Cool Spring, singular, no S on Spring, Downtown District. And you can also sign up for our e-newsletter when you visit our website, visit downtownfayetteville.com. And that we always send out, particularly before our big events, just a fully loaded constant contact newsletter that will tell you anything and everything that you need to know, including any prohibited items to bring in the park. We will be instituting a clear bag policy. So we want to we're going to be pushing that out as much as we possibly can. We want folks to be aware of it, so there are no surprises when they, try to walk into the park. But no coolers, folks, please. We do have, food vendors that are coming out. We ask that. But otherwise, you can bring a folding chair. You can come bring a blanket, hang out with your family. Something that we brought to our New Year's event that was very popular, so we are going to bring it to Juneteenth as well, was offering some bleacher seating that's available on site. When you get there, that'll be $5. You'll get a wristband, and then you can, sort of come and go from that area. But you've got a guaranteed seat that's not sitting on the lawn when that happens. But yeah, come bring your entire family. We had a year where someone showed up with their family reunion. They made our event their family reunion. Yeah. I thought,
awesome.
That's actually pretty cool. That's a smart idea. Why not? I know what it takes to plan those things. So if I could crash somebody else's party, that'd be great. And just bring my family. That'd be fantastic.
That's a cheap way to entertain the whole family.
That's a great
right?
one, right? It's like, you guys are hungry. Food trucks are over there. Go for it. But we love that. I love looking out into the audience or looking at our photos later and seeing multi-generations in a family enjoying themselves. And that's really what all of this is about. And so, when we are working very late and we are putting in that time to make sure that we offer something that everyone can be proud of. I'm proud of this city in Fayetteville, and I want, other folks too. We have those visitors that come in, they're charmed by our downtown and all of these free public events that we offer, but also just letting folks that have grown up here and have been here for years that maybe don't come downtown as often as they have, or still, remember an older version of downtown. If you haven't been in a while, you need to come down, because it is not the downtown that you remember. And so we want to be welcoming. We want to design spaces where people feel comfortable, safe, and enjoy themselves as well.
Certainly. And you guys put on a Herculean effort for any size of team, but as the fact is, you guys do incredible work.
Thank you.
And I know we certainly appreciate it. And thank you for coming on today to talk to us about it.
Absolutely. Anytime. I love hanging out with you guys.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, thank you so much, Ashanti. And we want to encourage everyone to go out to the Juneteenth Jubilee on Saturday, June the 14th at 3 p.m. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Fayetteville 411. The Fayetteville 411 is one of several podcasts that the city produces for our podcast channel, Radio Fayetteville. Be sure to subscribe to Radio Fayetteville on most of your favorite streaming platforms.
You can also listen to every podcast that Radio Fayetteville has to offer by downloading the Fay TV streaming app, available now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV. You can view all of our video content by visiting faytv.net. To get information about city services, go to our webpage at fayettevillenc.gov. Thanks for joining us.
Looking for the perfect way to beat the heat? Fayetteville Cumberland Parks and Recreation pools and splash pads are open for summer fun. Whether you're looking to swim, splash, or just relax by the water, we've got something for everyone. So grab your swimsuits and sunscreen and head over to one of our 4 pools or 14 splash pads today. Cool off, relax, and enjoy all the summer vibes. To find a location near you, visit fayettevillennc.gov/aquatics.